What is up, everybody? Tyler here from Vant Trading. So one question I get asked a lot is, Tyler, how do you do your chart analysis? How do you do your A to Z markups? And how do you find trades? How do you find your bias for the day? Well, that's what this video is going to cover. I'm going to cover my A to Z process on how I mark up my charts and find my trades. But first, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and hit that like button on the video. So let's dive on into it. First things first, with what I'm about to show you can be applied to any pair. I'm just using Euro USD for simplicity reasons. It should be a little easier to show you. But pretty much you can take this and cover it on any pair and do work your magic. All right. So first I start off on the monthly time frame, and what I do is I hop on down to the line chart. And what the line chart does, and the reason I do it on the line chart, is because it avoids those wicks, those fake outs. It really just kind of hones in on those pivot points, those specific areas that really matter, that price is going to really reject, right? So that's why I use the line chart. And what I'm going to do is pull out the horizontal line, and I'm going to find current price action, and I'm going to draw my support and resistance lines in the area of current price action. So I'll drop the line on the chart. There's one, and the reason I chose this is because there's one level of support there, one level of resistance there. It hesitated around here, right here. So there's a lot of points on that line that really kind of just rejects, right? So that's the whole point. So we're just going to kind of brush through this real quick, find some solid support and resistance lines. There's one. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because you should know how to find support and resistance areas. This is just really trying to show you exactly my process, right, on how I find those levels that reject. So there's the monthly time frame. You don't want to get crazy and start doing lines all up here, because price isn't up there. It doesn't really matter, what's going on up there. You want to do current price action, what's around it, right? And I can do one more up here. It's fine. That's fine. But really, you don't want to do too many. You want to keep your charts clean, and you want to make this very seamless and a very easy process. So now I'm done the monthly. Let's head on down to the weekly and do the same process, right? So I'm going to try to find current price action and price that rejects the area, right? So there's one. And I actually want to show you this one real quick. So it's really, it's not an exact science. It's an area of rejection. It's not a specific price. So if it overlaps like this a little bit, that's okay, because it's still rejecting it, right? It doesn't matter if it overlaps and it pierces it. Even if it pierces it and it reverses, it's still a rejection. So that's okay. It doesn't have to be exact, right? So yeah, that's good. And yeah, so that's pretty much good. I'm not going to draw anything right in here. And the reason being is because you want the best possible support and resistance. If you draw this, because look, Tyler has a rejection there, has a rejection here. Yes, but look at this big area where it really didn't reject. It really kind of went up and down through that line. That's not a really solid level, so we're going to kind of leave that out of there and only do the actual pivot points. All right, so now we're done the weekly, and we do this one more time on the daily. Last ditch effort of finding those really important higher time frame levels. Let's see if we want to do any, maybe right there. And that's going to be it. Yeah, that's going to be the last one. So now that we're done, we did the monthly, the weekly, and the daily time frame as far as drawing our support and resistance levels on the line chart, right? So now what you're going to want to do is you want to head down to the 4-hour and turn your candles back on. And now this is where you're drawing any minor or intermediate levels of support and resistance. Now you already have these lines that are obviously going to be an area of rejection because you found them on the higher time frame. So you can get ahead if you want and just cover those lines up with zones, just so you know that it's an area of rejection. It's not exactly that price that's going to reject. So you can cover those up real quick. And now that we've done that, you're going to want to find any other intermediate levels. Let me turn off these these session breaks so it's a little cleaner for you to see. So now we're going to want to find those levels, the minor levels. So, you know, right in here could be one, right? Let's kind of zoom out a little bit. Right in there could be one. And then let's try to find a couple more if we have them. You don't want to force levels, but you also got to make sure you hit all those important areas, of, you know, all those pivot areas, right? So that's enough, and you really shouldn't do more than that, because in between each zone, 45 pips, 45 pips, you know, 50 pips, 40. You want to make sure you have a decent amount of space in between each zone so you have enough room to catch some pips, right? You don't want to have, you know, a level every, you know, 8 pips, because then you're really just getting in the weeds and you're not going to have a clean trade. So that's probably all I'll do right now. Let me hop on now down to the 1 hour chart. And if I want to adjust any of those zones or tweak them, or if I really need to add another one. So this I'll probably make a little skinnier. You really don't want too fat of zones either, because then it's going to be a little tougher to navigate through it. Make this one a little smaller. All right. So yeah, I don't think I want to add any more. I think we're good. And now what you want to do in the 4 hour and the 1 hour is now find your market structure and what your bias is, where you think the market's going to head, right? And then on the 1 hour, the 30-minute, you can draw any levels, you know, any trend lines you see that you want to put on the chart. You know, I noticed this downtrend. Well, what happened now? You had that break of structure, and then what? Well, now what do you think is going to happen? Are you going to look for that retrace to this breakout right here, and then maybe look for a buy? Are you thinking that, you know, it's not really a break of structure, it's a minor pullback? Are you looking for a sell here to continue lower? 1 hour, 30-minute is really where you want to find those trade ideas. And then the execution is going to be on like the 15-minute, the 30-minute, whatever presents itself, right? So that's what I do. It's really not rocket science, but it works really well, and it's just a very, very good top-down approach on how to find your levels, how to find trade ideas. If you have any questions at all on what I went over, please hit that comment box under the video, and please let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know how I can help you, and I'm here for you guys. So I hope that helped. If you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on the video, and I will see you later.